What is up, everybody? It's your boy Tino here, and we're here today to talk about the show that will be going down. It is NXT and TNA Showdown. As you know, it was supposed to be called Invasion, but whatever, and shenanigans and things change, and here we are. They now changed the name to Showdown, and it is pretty much Survivor Series. It is an invasion between two companies, NXT and TNA. We're going to see superstars from each brand go one-on-one. We're going to see two Survivor Series style matches, a tag team match, and a match one-on-one for the North American title. We very well could see a couple other matches added. Maybe. We'll see what happens. I do feel like we definitely should have seen this be a premium live event because I feel like they definitely could have done a lot more. As we watched last night on the retro episode, as we rewatched the invasion from 2001 between WCW, ECW, as they took on WWF. And there were a lot of matches, as there were back in the day. But I will say the one thing I really did enjoy about all of that was them having like the back and forth, the segments, keeping track of the records and this and that. So I will say getting this on free television is very much of a bonus because we don't have to pay the $9.99 or the $30 for ESPN Unlimited or whatever. But shall be interesting to see how they play us out, how they do the time, and just everything in between. But guys, let's get to it and let's talk about the matches that we do know that will be going down tomorrow night on NXT and TNA Showdown. We got a North American Championship match as it is Ethan Page taking on Mustafa Ali. We have the Dark State Boys taking on the greatest tag team champions of all time. It is Matt and Jeff, the Hardy Boys. They will be taking on, and it will be a winner take all, champion for champion. Which team will be walking out at TNA and NXT tag team champions? I'll let you know in a little bit. We got the men's Survivor Series style type match. We got Ricky Saints, Trick Williams, the TNA champion, Javon Evans, and Miles Bourne for NXT. We got Moose, Frankie Kazarian, Mike Santana, and Leon Slater for their TNA guys. We'll talk about why Trick is on the NXT team when he is the TNA champion when we get to that match. We also have the women's Survivor Series style match. We got Jacy Jayne, the NXT champion. We got Jada Parker. It's all, I don't even know why I was going with that. We got Vice City. It's Lola Vice. We got Sol Ruka, double champ Sol Ruka, as they take on Team TNA that features the Inspiration, Jakara Jackson, because I keep forgetting her now TNA name. And for some reason, just like we'll talk about when we get to this match, why isn't well, at least this one makes sense. But again, why is there an NXT superstar that's a part of the TNA team? But I don't know. We'll talk about it. But Kalani Jordan is your TNA Knockout Women's Champion. And again, that is not taking anything away from Kalani Jordan. I am so happy that she won a championship. I just feel like it doesn't make any sense. But you guys, again, let me know in the chat how you guys feel about Kalani being a part of the team. But let's get to the chat. Let's see if we are in here. Repost. Hey, shout out to you, the Main Event Network. If you guys have not yet, we're on the road to 300 over on the Main Event Network. The NXT Night Shift guys, Kyle and Jay Gold, will be live after the show. I'm sure Stan will show up. Stan will have some good things to say about it. But shall be interesting to see what goes down. Like I said, guys, let me know what you guys' thoughts are. If you were joining me last night, we did talk about how we could very well see some similarities. As we saw Mick Foley special guest 2 matches during the show last night, we do have 2 special guest referee matches, 2 special guest referees for the 2 Survivor Series style matches. For the women, we got former TNA Women's Knockout Champion. We got Miss Jordan Grace. And we have, you say his name and he appears, Mr. Joe Hendry will be the referee for the men's style match. I don't understand why we couldn't have just made it 5-on-5. We could have had Oba part of Team NXT unless they got bigger plans for him. Joe Hendry could have been part of TNA. I don't know. We'll talk about it when we get there because I do not want to get too far ahead of myself. But now, let's get to it. And let's talk about the first match. And the first match is one that I'm excited for. And I can't wait to see go down. It is for the NXT North American Championship. It is Ethan Page, your champion, as he takes on Mustafa Ali. You guys know that we have, and Mustafa Ali was supposed to face Dominic Mysterio, I think at 2022, 2023, No Mercy. But he ended up getting released, and we did not see that match ended up happening. And we obviously saw what Mustafa has done since then. Well, here we are back at it, and he gets another shot. And it's 3 years in the making. He gets that shot for the NXT North American title. Now a part of the TNA brand, obviously. And you know, the one thing I will say about this, isn't it kind of crazy the fact that like 3-4 years ago, Ethan Page was in AEW. Mustafa Ali was in WWE. He was also a part of the cruiserweight division a few years before that. And now here we are. Ethan Page is part of WWE, and Mustafa Ali is part of TNA. You just really never know what's going to happen in this world, in this company, especially pro wrestling. This match, though, is going to be very good. These two are going to go out there and put on a very good performance. I do think and I do believe possibly this match could start off the show. But if I would be a betting man, I'm not a betting man, at least not in that case. That's why I just play fantasy football. And guys, we need some good luck for your boy Tino tonight. We need Bretton Strange and Isaiah Pacheco to get a combined 20 fantasy points for your boy Tino to get the dub. Let's hope for that. But Ethan Page, Mustafa Ali. Now I got off my train of thought and I started talking about football. Oops. That's just what happens here. Here we are, guys. It's Monday. New week. Pay-per-view week. 2 pay-per-views, I guess, if you want to count this as a pay-per-view. But this match should be really good. I'm excited to see these guys go at it. And as much as I think that it would be cool to see Mustafa Ali walk out your NXT North American champion, and I'm going to say that I'm not going to put it out of the possibilities of it happening, but I'm going to stick with Ethan Page getting the win. And I'm going to stick with your man, All Ego, becoming and staying your NXT North American champion. Like I said, this match is going to be very good. I think it will be a fun match. Maybe we see some shenanigans, but in the end, I do not believe that the TNA champion or the TNA brand will take the NXT North American champion. I do think that they will be taking a title. And I guess there's only one other title match on the show. But, again, we don't know. I mean, they could add a match or two. And if they do, I'll make it short, and I'll give you my updated thoughts and my predictions on what will go down. But as of right now, these are the 4 matches that we have played out as of this recording on Monday afternoon at 4:10 p.m. Central Standard Time. Now, let's get to them before we talk about the other title match. Let's talk about the women's 4-on-4 Survivor Series match, because if you do and if you are a fan of Survivor Series, you guys do very well know and are well aware of how a Survivor Series match works. It's usually 5-on-5, and I definitely thought there would be people that would be 5-on-5, because I mean we saw all the women out there standing there, and they were on NXT last week. I'm sure there was other people that we could have had be in and we could have seen be a part of this. I don't know why it's 4-on-4, but we have this. And this is what I wanted to talk about when I first said this match. We have Kalani Jordan. She is an NXT superstar. She is a TNA women's champion right now. And I personally, again, I love it. I'm happy for Kalani Jordan. But why is she a part of the TNA brand? Or why isn't she a part of the TNA brand then now if she is the TNA champion? Like, if you have a partnership, can't you guys, like, trade superstars? Maybe they trade Kalani Jordan for and again, it wouldn't make it a fair deal, but they could go all the way back to, like, Jordan Grace, because Jordan Grace obviously came over from TNA. But if they did something like that, that would be kind of cool. But no, Kalani Jordan is now the TNA champion, and she is part of Team TNA. To me, just does not make sense. We have, as I said, Jakara Jackson. Her name is Mara Sade. I want to make sure I said that right to make sure I knew her actual name now, because she is now not known as Jakara Jackson, now known as Mara Say. And I've always liked Jakara. I think she just never got the opportunity that she definitely could have gotten in Metaphor and everything else like that. We obviously all knew Lash Legend was going to be the biggest star to come out of that group, and it's seeming like that is, as the days and the months go on, it's seeming like that is exactly what's happening. And then we have the Inspiration, Cassie Lee, and Jessica McKay, and obviously formerly known as Miss Peyton Royce and Billy Kay. I, again, nothing against them, love them, but why are all of these women that are a part of the TNA brand and the TNA team ex WWE superstars, ex TNA or NXT superstars, ex Raw? Like that's my thing. There's a lot of women that I feel like we could have used that aren't and that have not been part of the NXT, and that they were all a part of TNA. And obviously the TNA division for the women is not as, up in top tier as other brands and companies and everything else like that. But, I feel like we could have very well seen just a bunch of different people like Gail Kim's of the worlds. Where's Mickie James? I know Mickie James has been, and she obviously was a part of WWE, but she has been a champion in TNA. She has had a career in TNA. I just think that there's other people that we very well could have gotten for this team. And again, nothing against all four of these women. I love all four of them. I just, again, personally think that we could have used different women. Now, for the NXT team, it makes sense for the most part. I mean, again, I don't know who else you were really going to add unless you were going to add a fifth member and it was going to be somebody like a Zarya or a Fallon Henley or somebody like a freaking, why can't I think of people's names on the top of my head, and then I'll watch NXT tomorrow. I'll be like, oh yeah, they should be a part of it. But I do think that if we're going based off Survivor Series and everything, we very well should have seen a 5-on-5. And as I'm thinking about it and as I'm talking about it, I feel like the reason why they are not doing 5-on-5 is because of the time, and they want to make sure that they get, the right. They want to have enough time for all these matches, is what I'm trying to say. Because we all know how it goes with some of these TV times and how much time we waste on these damn commercials. But for me, it's going to be a good fight. Should be interesting. I do believe that, if I'm not mistaken, this is a elimination style match, just like the Survivor Series matches. But if I'm going to pick a team, and if I'm going to pick someone to win, based on the women in this match, I think you got to go Team NXT. As I said, there's nothing wrong with the women that are on TNA. We definitely could have had other people, like I said, but for me, the NXT women is just too stacked. We got double champ So Ruka. JC Jane's been on fire. Jada Parker knows what she's doing. And we have not even talked about Miss Lola Vice City, that literally became literally so close to becoming champion. The one thing I will say is that we could very well see some shenanigans. Maybe JC and Lola don't get along. Maybe JC eliminates Lola. Lola eliminates JC without helping each other. You know how that goes usually. Like how Big Show knocked out John Cena, and then Seth Rollins went in for the pin, and then Big Show left the match. And we very well could see that, and who knows, it comes down to Jada Parker and Sol Ruka, and then they run the table. But I'm going to stick with NXT to win this match, and I think it will be 2-on-2 or 2-0 NXT at the end of the first two matches. Again, I don't know how these matches are going to play out. Somebody in the chat if somebody in the chat knows, I'm sure we won't know till tomorrow like they always do. But as I said, I do believe that we will start off with one Survivor Series match, and then we'll have the main event be one of the Survivor Series matches. And I think the women will actually be the ones to start off the show. I saw Justin in the chat. What's up, Justin? How you doing, bro? Now, let's get to the other title match that we were just talking about a little bit ago. And it is for the NXT and TNA tag team titles. It is winner take all. It's the Dark State Boys as they take on the Hardy Boys, the greatest tag team of all time. The Hardy Boys trying to check off another tag team off the list of tag titles that they have not won in the WWE yet, or wrestling in general. And that NXT title is one that they have not won yet. Dark State, you're going to put up a good fight, but let's be real here. Let's not waste too much time with this one. And let's just say, we all know who's going to win it. We're going to be doing the Hardy Boys thing because Jeff and Matt are walking out your new and winner take all TNA still and your brand new NXT Tag Team Champions. I do believe the Hardy Boys will knock off, and they've been talking about for a while, I do believe they'll knock it off their list of tag titles that they have not won. Obviously, they would probably love to win every design of the title, but, I mean, I don't know if they're going to go on Raw and SmackDown. But even seeing them on NXT, and they don't even need to have the titles for a long time, I think that we could see Dark State beat them and maybe very well get the titles back. But just the fact the Hardy Boys having their moment on and at SHOWDOWN, going at it against Dark State, I think it's time. Let's pull the trigger and let's have the Hardy Boys walk out double champ. And they could be dripping in gold, baby, after Tuesday night. Because that's what the Hardy Boys do. Like I said, we don't need to waste too much time on this one. Not too much to say about it. But, like I said, I will say we probably do see Mr. Cutler James and the other bro. I keep forgetting his name. Oh, my God. I can't remember Dark State's names except Dion Lennox and Cutler James. I keep forgetting the other two guys' names. But, sure, we'll see them involved. And so watching Invasion last night, the one thing I will say, if you did not join us, or maybe you did and you just, yeah. I thought it was hysterical, the fact that we saw the referees fight each other. The fact that we saw the general manager, like, imagine Ava and Santino Marella have a match. That would be fantastic. Let's see the referees go at it. Like, that's the type of stuff that, as corny and as goofy as it was back in the day, that shit was so entertaining and funny, and that is the point of WWE, right? And, I think it would be interesting to see. Maybe, what would be really, really cool is we see a trade. Maybe Santino comes out. Maybe Ava comes out. Maybe they're just talking in the back. And maybe they come up with a trade. Because if they work with each other, why can't they do that? Why can't there be some type of, trade deadline? Or, my GM after, the pay-per-views or the PLEs or every couple months. They make a couple trades and we get new matchups on each show. I think that would be interesting. And that will lead us into the main event of the show. I feel like it will be. And remember also for the women's match, as I said earlier, Jordynne Grace will be the special guest referee, which is a part of the reason why, too, before we get to the final match, I want to talk about it. I wanted to mention we could see Jordynne Grace maybe help, and she possibly will help Team TNA because we know she's a former TNA champion. She is a former TNA superstar. And, you always go back to your roots. So that's why I'll say that we possibly see Jordynne Grace turn on and at against Team NXT, and she helps TNA win. But I'll still stick with Team NXT. I just wanted to mention that fact because I did not want people to forget, and I personally also did not want to forget because I almost forgot that Jordynne Grace will be the special guest referee for the Women's Survivor Series style match. Now for the main event and for the men's style Survivor Series match, we have Joe Hendry say his name and he appears as the special guest referee. And for the men's team, it goes as followed. For Team NXT, we got Leon Slater. We got Mike Santana. We got Moose. And then we got Frankie Kazarian. For Team NXT, we got the NXT champion, which makes sense, Ricky Saints. We got Miles Bourne. People, you can hate on Miles Bourne. You can say what you want about Miles Bourne. But Miles Bourne is going to the moon and back, baby. Hell, I don't know. Just wanted to throw a quick Cameron Grimes reference in there. And then we got the young OG making his way to SmackDown a few times, doing all the things. It's Mr. Javon Evans. That is your teams for Team NXT and Team TNA. Trick Williams also is part of the team. And I didn't say that yet, but Trick Williams, the TNA champion. Why is Kalani Jordan part of TNA when she's the TNA champion, but Trick Williams is a part of NXT when Trick Williams is the TNA champion? Does that make sense to anybody? Because I'm still trying to figure it out. And I'm trying to figure out if that is what is going on here. as we saw last night with the WWE or WWF taking on WCW and ECW, we did see Mr. Stone Cold Steve Austin turn on the WWF and help WCW and ECW get the win against Team WWF. And after watching that last night, after seeing Mick Foley referee a couple matches, we saw a couple things that we've seen and trying to compare Invasion and Showdown as we were talking about last night. I'm going to say it now, and Trick Williams is going to join TNA. Trick and A is going to turn on Team WWE, Team NXT. He's going to help the TNA boys win, and then he's going to jump ship to TNA in storyline, obviously. He is the TNA champion. It would only make sense. We watch pay-per-views here on the channel all the time, and how many similarities do we see all the time? And it just so happened that we went back and watched the Invasion pay-per-view, obviously before Showdown. You know, I feel like something's going to happen, especially if this match is the main event. You're going to want to have people talking, and you're going to want to have people going out and being like, oh my gosh, let's tune into Thursday night TNA. We got to turn back into Tuesday night next week to NXT. Should be interesting. But for me, I want NXT to win. But I'm going to say with the help of Trick Williams, Trick Willie, I'm going to say Team TNA gets the win. Frankie Kazarian, Moose, Leon Slater, Mike Santana, and Trick Williams all stand tall over the three guys from NXT. And maybe somebody comes out and tries to help. Again, we could have very well had a 5-on-5. We could have seen guys like Ethan Page be a part of it if he wasn't having the match. We could have seen guys like Oba Femi, Josh Briggs. We could have seen a tag team added like they usually do in these Survivor Series style matches. And they could have taken out Miles Bourne and put in Hank and Tank. There's a lot of different things they could have done, but the more and more I'm thinking about it, I feel like the reason why they did not do any of that, and the reason why it's 4-on-4, is because if you add another superstar to each match, and with it especially being a elimination style match, and it being the way it is, I think that could be very well the part of the reason why they are having it be 4-on-4. Either way, I love myself, and I love myself some elimination matches, and I think this one's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good fight. It's going to be a good show. And as I said, in the end, TNA going to get the win. And they're going to take down WWE NXT in this specific match. Now, that would leave the series at 2-2 if my predictions all became true. And for me, that is why I think we do add another match. We could very well just see it be an impromptu match. Like I said, let's put Ava and Santino. Ava and Santino, the main event. Line it up. It is the Cobra versus you can smell what The Rock's daughter is cooking. And the winner of that wins the showdown. That is why, again, I feel like we got to have an we have to have an odd number of matches so we at least get a winner, right? Because there is 4 matches, but I do feel like that we need to see, as I said, some type of winner to the actual brand supremacy and the company supremacy, or brand, whatever you want to call bragging rights. I don't freaking know. We could go through all the names that they have and that they've called it in the past. But for right now, and as of this moment at 4:26 p.m. Central Standard Time, that is the NXT Showdown PLE pay-per-view, not pay-per-view, I should say. Weekly show on NXT. I'm just, lot of shows going on this week, guys. NXT TNA, it is on free cable. It is on weekly television. It is on the CW. So make sure that you go and watch it with us and come and hang out with me tomorrow as we'll watch all the matches that we just previewed go down. And we'll see who wins these matches. And we'll see which brand comes out on top. Will it be TNA or will it be NXT? But that is not the only big event that we got going on this week, because Raw is back on at 7 p.m., guys. We lost our hour and it's back to 7 p.m. Monday Night Raws. We got Monday Night Raw tonight. We got CM Punk, Roman Reigns. We got Roxanne Perez taking on Lyra Valkyria. And then we also have Maxine Dupree taking on Becky Lynch. Will we see the return of AJ Lee? I hope so, because I miss lighting it up on Monday nights. Now, Tuesday, tomorrow, as I said, we got NXT. So come and hang out as we watch NXT and we have ourselves a good time and we see who wins. And then after NXT goes off, we're going to hang out, as I said earlier, with the NXT guys. It's the NXT night shift. It is Jay Gold and Kyle, as they'll give you their thoughts about the showdown. And maybe Stan will roast Kyle some more, because we love ourselves some Stan roasting sessions on Tuesday nights. Wednesday, after all that goes down, come and hang out as we have gaming. We're back as we got 10 weeks left. You guys see it right there. 10 weeks left until we're done with WWE 2K25 My GM mode. Until next year when 2K26 comes out. It is the Bash in the Berlin, PLE. And then on Wednesday night, come and hang out as we preview Clash in Paris. We preview Crown Jewel from Perth, Australia. Guys, it starts at 4 a.m. on Saturday. Thankfully, this is the one time I'm happy the pre-shows are 2 hours, because if the show started at 5 a.m., I don't know how I'd be doing this. But 6 a.m. might be manageable, especially if we go to bed right after Friday Night SmackDown. But before all that, Wednesday, come and hang out as we preview. I keep trying to say Clash in Paris. We preview Crown Jewel. Thursday, no more Southside Boys, which means it gives us the opportunity to do more on the Tino's Tom YouTube channel on Thursdays, as we have a simulation after we preview the show. If there's a couple more matches added, if not, we'll deal with it when we get there. But as of right now, we got, I think, 4 matches for the show. We'll be simulating them all. I want to see who 2K decides wins it all. We got AJ and John, Stephanie and Tiffany, Cody and Seth. We got Asuka and Asuka and Kyrie taking on Io and Rhea Ripley. Mommy, it's going down. It is a simulation on Thursday night, I should say. Friday, it's Friday Night SmackDown. Come and hang out as we watch the show at 7 p.m. Apparently, it is going to be taped earlier on in the afternoon. So if I can find a way, like I'm freaking Drake and Josh in the house, we're going to go early, and we're going to watch it earlier, try to watch it live, so then we can get a little extra sleep. But if not, we'll be here. I ain't missing it. We'll be here for you at 7 p.m. if we can't watch it and figure out another way to watch it. Saturday, guys, I don't know how we're going to do it. We're going to figure it out. I was thinking about going, we very well might still do it depending on how I feel. I was thinking about going live from 7 p.m. from the time SmackDown starts to the time that Crown Jewel ends. At what the hell time would that be? 9 p.m. 9 p.m. Jesus Christ. 9 a.m. If the show starts at 6, about 3 hours, like 9 a.m. and have ourselves a little 14-hour live stream. I don't know if that's going to happen. We're going to see how I feel. I don't want to hype it up and then not do it or something happens. But keep that in the back of your head that we very well could be doing a 14-hour live stream, playing some video games, watching some pay-per-views, having some shenanigans, and have ourselves a wild night on Friday night to try to stay up for the show. That will be Crown Jewel. But as I said, either way, we'll be here for the show. And then on Sunday, it's a TNA pay-per-view, and it is one last time. No, it's not John Cena's final match. We got the final time between... Well, that's not it. We have the final time between the greatest and 2 of the greatest tag teams of all time. It is the Hardy Boys. It is the Dudley Boys. It is, again, as I said, one final time, as they will be going at it face-to-face in a tables match. We'll be here live for Bound for Glory to watch the show, to watch the match, and to see the Hardy Boys take on the Dudley Boys one final time. Now let me get that thumbnail up so I can show you guys, because for some reason, thumbnail did not want to add to the StreamYard. And it just be like that. And that's okay. But it's 4:30. I hope you guys are all having a great Monday. I hope you guys will be here live with me tonight at 7 p.m. Yeah, 7 p.m. It's not 6 p.m. It's gone. We enjoyed our early live streams. But now we're back at it at the regular scheduled time. But here's the thumbnail. one final table. It's bound for glory for the TNA tag team titles. Or maybe it's for both, depending on what happens on Tuesday night. We'll find out, guys. That's all I got here for you, though. I appreciate the Main Event Network resharing us out on X as usual. You guys are all the best. We got Justin in the house. Thank you to Justin coming and hanging out. I know this preview show is a little bit earlier on in the day. If you guys are watching this on delay, if you guys are watching it whenever you're watching it, let me know what you guys' thoughts are in the comments. Let me know how you're feeling about NXT and TNA Showdown. Are you watching? Are you not watching? So something you're going to keep an eye on? Do you not care? Are you just ready for Crown Jewel, or do you not care about Crown Jewel? Just let me know your thoughts about anything going on in the wrestling world, guys. But until then, and until we come back here at 7 o'clock, make sure to go follow all the social medias. Go and check out the OTM guys. They're on the road to 500. The Main Event Network on the road to 300. And your boy Tino over here on the road to 4,000 subscribers. That sounds so bad when I say it out loud. But hey, you got to support everybody all the time, everywhere you can. So make sure you guys go do all that good stuff. Southside boys, if you are a baseball fan and you want to keep up with us on the off season, we'll be back for the 2026 season. And it's going to be a better season. I can't wait for it. But guys, follow all those social medias. Hit that like button. Subscribe on the road to 4K. And lastly, turn that notification button on. So you know we come back here live tonight for Monday Night Raw here on Tino's Top and over on the Main Event Network. Guys, enjoy your afternoon, and I'll see you then.